Welcome to Decipher Football. This channel is all about football news and my thoughts about the football world. Football, as you know it, is life itself. So, in this first video, it's all about Premier League season review. So, let's dive straight into the four most promising teams that can win or even have the possible chance to wrestle the title away from last year's winner, Manchester City. So the first team we're going to talk about is none other than Manchester City. They are last year's winner, and I think this year their chances of winning the Premier League again, they will have the best chance or the best squad to win the Premier League again. So as you can see, they have the goalkeeper Anderson, and on the right hand side they have the defender Walker and also Sancho on the left hand side, and of course, Stones and Diaz. These two defenders are the best defenders, I would say, by far in the Premier League. And without Diaz's prowess last season, I don't think Man City will be able to win the Premier League. Besides that, we also have Rodri, Gundogan, and De Bruyne. Okay, they have been pairing up and doing very well in the midfield. And also we have Mahrez on the right hand side, Sterling as a striker, and of course the new inclusion, Mark Grealish. So especially with last season, as we know, Aguero has not been played for the better part of the season, and even though they have Aguero, it doesn't make much difference. Okay, as you can see last season in the Champions League final, Aguero didn't really do much, even though when he was brought sub on, and he didn't really do much. So that's why, even though there's Sterling, they have Gabriel Jesus, they have Foden, but they can't really do much, right? So this is the problem that Manchester City face. And another problem is that, as you can see, the goal has been dry up season after season. From 2017 to 2018, they averagely they get 2.79 goals. On the 2018 and 2019, they averagely at least get 2.5 goals. And 2019 to 2020, they scored 2.69 goals. But last season, surprisingly, they only scored 2.18 goals. So this problem needed to be addressed by Pep Guardiola immediately. So let's just talk about Grealish. So Grealish himself has spent most of his part of his life in Aston Villa, the Birmingham-based club, and I think for him, it's better for him to move to another club because he needs a fresh challenge to continue his career by honing the skills and testing himself against the best player in the world. So what exactly does Jack Grealish brings? First, of course, Man City needs the crosses in to the final third or the box for the strikers to really cross and try to score the goal. Besides his agility and his creativity, that's very important. Okay, the agility and the creativity to really mess around with the defense of the other teams and also to score some amazing goals himself. Besides, he also has the intelligence with both of his feet, okay, especially on the left hand side. He's able to maneuver with the ball and try to cut in through the final third and eventually score a goal for Man City. Manchester City, I predict they will be champions of Premier League again because they have too much quality in their respective squad, and their squad in depth, as you can see, every single department of their squad has a world-class player to replace them. I don't think there's any problem that they will face or they will lose the match or lose the Premier League. So I think it's a title for them to lose. And let's look at this weekend. So this weekend, Tottenham will welcome Man City to their stadium. And I think this match is all about whether Kane will continue in this club or not. And as you know, Nuno Espirito Santo is the new Tottenham Hotspur manager. And I think he needs a lot of time to really bring out the best or even to transfer, okay, his idea to his players. So I think he will try to tinker or play a bit with his team to come out the best starting 11 to match Man City this weekend. So with that being said, Man City as well, they have many players that came back from the Euro and then they might need some rest. So as you can see in the last match, they versus Leicester City, and many of the players tried to win the match but eventually they couldn't score. So it will be interesting to see whether the players are able to give their best, and of course they will of course give their best and will try to win the match. So my take is I think Man City will have the extra edge here, as Nuno Espirito Santo will need to search for the best team and the teams need time to sink in his way and style of playing. So I think Man City will edge this one. The second team we're going to talk about is no other than Manchester United. We know this season will be the season of reckoning for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team, and because they have spent a huge amount of cash on many players. So I think this is the best chance that Manchester United have to really wrestle the title away from Man City. Let's take a look of the current squad of Manchester United. They have De Gea as their goalkeeper. I would think that De Gea will remain to be the first Manchester United keeper, and he will just start from the first goal. And on the right hand side we have Wan-Bissaka, and on the left Shaw. As we know, Shaw is a tremendous player and he's shown himself so well, he's played so well in the Euros 2020. So I think he will continue to be there. And as you can see, the defenders are made up of Maguire and Varane. I think Varane is a good inclusion. We will talk about Varane more later. And we also have the two defensive midfielders, McTominay and Fred. I think there won't be any inclusion with the latest rumors of Camavinga, Saul Miniguez, okay, and even Goretzka. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will buy anyone just to play for this Saturday. And besides, we have ever-ready Fernandes, the world-class player, will remain as the center attacking player. And on the right-hand side, no other than I think it's Sancho or even Greenwood to take over their place. On the left-hand side, Rashford, but for now Rashford is injured, so I think Sancho and Greenwood will be continue playing on the left and the right wing. And we have Cavani as the main striker. So I think in here, these are the current squad for Manchester United. So now let's look at some of the new signings that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has just made during this summer. They are no other than Sancho and of course Varane. So as you can see from previous from the news, Sancho is priced as 85 million euros while Varane is around 50 million euros. I would say with this huge amount of cash that we pay for these two players, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is making a statement here that they try to price the Premier League away from Manchester City. So let us look at one of the best players in the world that Manchester United had bought from Real Madrid, no other than Rafael Varane. So why did Varane being bought by Manchester United? For me personally, I think he's the best player in the world. As you can see, last season, Manchester United was actually leaking a lot of goals. So that's why I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this season, they will try to get the best player, the world-class player, be full of experience, and try to not to leak any goals and to give a solid partnership, solid defense with Harry Maguire. As you can see, he's also a world-class player and of course a title contender, the winner of a World Cup, and he has winner of La Liga, winner of Champions League. So I think there's nothing short of experience here. He will continue to be the best player in the world. I think this will propel Manchester to great heights, especially in defense department. So let us look at why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Varane so much. So he wanted a player that can match all the football team in the world. So if with the leaky defense, I don't think Manchester United have a chance to even win, let's say, alone the Premier League, okay, or even survive in the Champions League. So that's why they need a world-class player that is proven and well tactically knowledge. So I will bring up a player to compare and let you know why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Varane so much. So in here you can see Diaz is for Man City and Varane is for Manchester United. And as you can see, Varane, the block is 0.5 per game, whereas Diaz has 0.69 per game. In tackles, Varane has 0.7 per game, while Diaz has 0.89 per game. Interception per game, you see 1.1 interception per game, while Diaz has 1.0 per game. And you see the clearance, Varane able to clear 3.6 times per game, while Diaz is 3.0 times per game. So you see almost more or less Varane is able to match Diaz. So I think with this quality, this fantastic quality that Manchester United have, I think they are able to finally compete with Manchester City. Let's look at second player that Manchester United bought this season. As for Sancho, he hasn't done much, as you know, and he has played a peripheral role in the Euro 2020. So now he's fresh from the heartbreak of missing the penalties in the finals. As you can see, last season, Manchester United was over-reliant on Bruno Fernandes. With his goals and assists, that actually helped Manchester United to achieve second place in English Premier League. So this season will be different with Sancho at helm. So why exactly did Sancho is needed by Solskjaer? Okay, so now let's look at Sancho. Why do you think Solskjaer needs Sancho so much? Because Sancho brings goals, goals, and goals. That's what Manchester United is lacking because they are too over-reliant on Bruno Fernandes. So that's why he needs him. Besides that, he also needs the assist that he's bringing to the team. And of course, the consistency and also the speed and acceleration that will sometimes scare the whole defenders in Europe. Besides that, his finishing ability is second to none. As you know, this player will really provide the necessary goods to prosper and to continue his development in Manchester United. And of course, the most powerful or the most, I would think, the best quality that he brings to Manchester United is all about creativity. So as you can see, the number speaks for himself. Okay, if you look here, I bring up a Sky Sport data that has been published, and Jadon Sancho was ranked number 10 in the Europe Major League in terms of goal and assists. He's able to bring 37 goals and 41 assists, and he's ranked number 10. Of course, you can never compare with Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and all these players, but as a young player like himself, he's able to rank top 10 is really fantastic, I would say. So that's why Solskjaer has saw this and he thinks he's the best player to find the final jigsaw puzzle that Manchester United really needs. Okay, this weekend, as you can see, Manchester United will welcome their nemesis, Leeds United. I would think with more fans are allowed into the stadium and also Manchester United will have the support of the crowd, I guess they will want to have a good start and off and running because last season, as we know, they have lost to Crystal Palace in the first game and after that they went downhill. So the first few games was not really very good for Manchester United. I don't think they want to repeat the same mistake again. So I think they will want to continue and they want to see they have an edge and they want to win the Premier League and continue to challenge from the goal. So I think with this, I'm so sorry, Leeds United might lose this game. So the third team we're going to talk about is none other than Chelsea. Chelsea, as you know, they are the new European champions and also the new European Super Cup winners. So they are strong in every area. As you can see from the current squad, they have Mendy. So Mendy is of course, the top goalkeeper, the astute signing from last season. And with Kepa also saved some of the penalties that they in the final of the Super Cup. I think he will try to challenge Mendy, but I think Mendy has too much quality to continue in every single game. So I think he will be the first in the starting lineup for Thomas Tuchel. Beside, we have Rudiger, Silva, and Christensen in their defense. Okay, they have Aspilicueta, they have Chilwell on the left hand side, Jorginho, Kante, ever relying Kante. I don't think there's any problem with that. They will just continue. Of course, on the Harvard, Pulisic, and Timo Werner will spearhead their attack. So this season, Chelsea has brought around two players. One is Bentinelli, and another one is going to come, which is none other than Lukaku. So I think much of the transfer has been done last season, where Roman Abramovich, the owner, has spent a total of £222 million to bring in Werner, Harvard, Chilwell, Mendy, Silva, and Ziyech. So, and of course, the biggest signing of them all is their manager, Thomas Tuchel. He has come into the team and created a very solid backline, and with Kante as the pivot with partner in crime, Jorginho. Jorginho has just won the European 2020 with Italy. I think this will even boost Chelsea and his morale very well. So nobody has able to steady the ship and won them a Champions League in the end. Even Frank Lampard, the best player by far for Chelsea, of course, has just been sacked last season, and his disappointing management has caused many players to underperform. So I think one particular area that Chelsea needs now is, of course, to score goals. So why do I say that they need to score a lot of goals? So I brought up the data here to show you the problems that Chelsea faced last season. If you compare with the 7 teams that in the Premier League last season, Man City has scored the highest goal with 83 goals, and of course Manchester United has also scored 73 goals. And as we look further down the table, Liverpool, Leicester, and even surprisingly Tottenham Hotspur has scored 68 goals. Even with Mourinho, a defensive minded manager, they are able to score more goals than Chelsea. As you can see, West Ham, the surprise package with the ever-ready Lingard, has helped West Ham to score 62 goals. And of course, as you can see, Chelsea themselves, they only score 58 goals. So this is an alarming problem that need to be addressed by the owner and of course the manager themselves. So it boils down to the question of who Chelsea need as striker. As you know that Werner has not been scoring many goals, even Howard himself, Pulisic has not really scored many goals. So somebody needs to come in to help Chelsea. And I think the best player they have now in the market is of course Lukaku. So why do they need Lukaku, or Lukaku need Chelsea? Because I think he has played in the league and he knows the league in and out. And he's the most suitable player for me, I think. And besides that, this season, Lukaku is going to Chelsea and he wants to win the Champions League with the right manager to succeed and improve as a player. So I think at 28 years old, it's prime time for Lukaku to shine. And since Conte has left Inter, with all due respect to Simone Inzaghi, I don't think with his caliber, he's able to bring best of the Lukaku. So with all due respect to Simone Inzaghi, I don't think he will bring the best out of Lukaku and Inter as well. So, and Inter will be weakened with Hakimi going to PSG. So it will be trial and error for Inzaghi this season. So what I think is Lukaku will carry Chelsea and he will score goals for them for sure. And he definitely will push Werner and even to help Tommy Abraham to score more goals, and of course, to carry the burden in scoring goals for Chelsea. And with the formation 3-4-1-2 or 3-4-2-1 that Thomas Tuchel likes, he's able to carry as a single main man, as a striker in front of the goal. And of course, he's resilient. The person is very resilient and is someone that knows, as I said before, he knows the in and out of the Premier League and is experienced. So I think these are all the facets that can help Lukaku to shine. And besides that, he will also help to improve Pulisic and Howard or even Ziyech to get the assists or the goals that he needed. So as we can see this weekend, Chelsea will welcome Crystal Palace to their stadium. And I would think Chelsea has too much quality to win against a new managed team, Patrick Vieira in Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace or Patrick Vieira himself will need some time to really understand the players. So I think it will be an exciting match. And I think with Chelsea winning the Super League and also the Champions League last season, and with so many good players in their team, I think there's no problem for Chelsea to win this game. I think they will continue to do their best and to win the game. As to whether Chelsea will win the Premier League, I think it's all about consistency. I think they will be the same with Manchester United. Both of them, both of this club, will need to have to achieve the consistency before they are able to wrestle the title away from Man City. So the last team I would want to discuss about is none other than Liverpool. So basically, Liverpool, as we know, this team is already quite strong. And as you can see from their starting lineup, we know Alisson is a very good goalkeeper. Alexander-Arnold on the right and then Robertson on the left. Konate, the new signing. Okay, and with Van Dijk comes in, I think Liverpool will be rock solid again, as no other team will able to penetrate them. I think they will continue to do well. So Fabinho in their general as a defensive midfielder, Keita on the left, Henderson on the right, and I think of course the three dome of Firmino, Mane, and Salah. I don't think any other team will be able to doubt their striking prowess. So they will continue to do very well this season. So last season, I don't know how somehow Chelsea able to survive until the end of season without Van Dijk, and they are able to leapfrog Chelsea and Leicester to third position in the English Premier League. So this season, I think with the renewed confidence and the healthy again Van Dijk, they were once again able to compete to be champions again. As for the summer signings, I think they are very quiet this season. They haven't done much, and I think their best summer signings are trying to extend the contract of their star players like Alisson, Fabinho, Alexander-Arnold with long-term contracts. And these players are proven already, and they have the squad to really to compete again to win the Premier League and to compete against Manchester City. As we all know, last season with the injury of Van Dijk, it has hampered Liverpool's chances of success. However, this is quickly fixed with the signing of Konate from Leipzig. Okay, this player is very versatile and is very young, and of course, it suits Klopp's style of playing with high defensive line. I would say he is a good player that can move forward with the ball, very comfortable with both feet, able to win area duels, and of course, he is able to play high line. That's what Klopp's would like to see, and it really suits the player as gels into the team. And of course, we want to see players that can immediately start on the goal. And of course, he's very young. So let us look at some of the stats that I bring out to compare with Maguire, Diaz. Okay, as you can see, the area drew 75% for Konate is almost the same with Maguire 77, and even better Diaz area duels of 68%. And of course, he's let people pass him many times because due to his inexperience, 0.65 per game. Whereas as you compare to Maguire and Diaz with 0.35 and 0.54, of course, these two players they are more experienced as compared to Konate. And besides that, you can see his pass completion is 86%. It's actually very well. It's a very high stat if you compare with Maguire 90 and also Diaz 93. So although his stats are not as good as the both Maguire and Diaz, but I think because of his age, he's able to improve and continue to help the team to, again, of course, their ultimate aim is to win back the Premier League again from Man City. So as of this weekend game, Norwich, the newly promoted side, will welcome Liverpool. And Mr. Daniel Farke has brought Norwich back to the Holy Grail. And they have the star player to thank for Emi Buendia scoring 12 goals and 15 assists, Timo Pukki with 25 goals, of course Todd Canwell, Oliver Skip, Grant Hanley. These are the players that you will beware of. But I think Norwich, with these players, they are able to continue to stay in the Premier League. I think Liverpool has too much strength to see them out easily. As of the prediction for Liverpool, whether they are able to win the Premier League, I think there's no problem with them. Their players are all back and healthy. I think they will either be first or second place in the English Premier League this season. So there we have it. These four teams, English Premier League teams, I think that will have a chance or huge chance to be the champion for English Premier League this season. So do support by subscribing my channel because it's the first time I'm doing it, and I love you all. Till then, see you in the next episode. Thank you.